Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the black screen is black. We are here live in Bakersfield, California. I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Bako Motorsports Power Hour. That's right. This is the place where you watch everything you need to know about motorsports in Kern County. We've got all the action with us. We have an unbelievable crew here today. First off, let me introduce my main man, my right-hand man, the partner in crime, the grumpy Griff, Mike Griffith.
Yeah, well, my agent will be speaking with you later.
Agent, well, he's walking right behind you right now. He's right there.
Probably.
See?
Is that Trevor?
No.
That's my agent.
There's your union rep right there. You talk to him. We are live here. This is show number 34 of the Bako Motorsports Power Hour. It's been brought to you by the Bakersfield Californian. We've been covering the racing since the beginning. And to my left, another great guy, Scott Schweitzer. Let me just recap Scott Schweitzer's week last week. First off, he had a run at his track. This is 2 weeks ago. They put a lot of color down on the facility, and that was kind of a big deal. He had about 2,000 runners there.
1,800.
1,800. Okay, we'll just round up. We'll say it was 2,000. That's
Sounds good.
That's how we roll in this business. And then you invited the real circus, which was mini dwarfs and go-karts. That was on Sunday. And then you called me on Wednesday. You're like, dude, I'm like super swamped with the Bud Nationals. I can't make it. So we filled in for you. We handled it.
Appreciate that.
No, it was good. We had a good time talking about you in your absence. And but you're here for us for a good half hour. We got a big show today. Actually, we got an hour and 15-minute long show. We have an extra 30. We got a big event coming up at the Kern County Raceway Park at the end of the segment. We have Butch Hedrick coming in the third segment, I should say, to talk about ANRA at Auto Club Formosa Raceway. That's their season finale, Mike Griffith.
It should be some good weather out there, so it's going to be a lot of fun out there this weekend.
We wanted to have Scott come in because we want him to be our top analyst here because he's basically done for weeks, and I want to kind of go over the schedule for a few things. We got a lot to kind of get to. Let's just say you can follow us right now on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Brian Richardson, Rich Pack number 4, was tweeting us over the weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like he might be coming in.
Yeah, he might be coming in today.
I don't know. Mr. Hughes never said, but if he comes in, that might mean
surprise guest.
That might be a surprise guest. Might mean peaches.
You
never know.
If he brings gifts.
That might mean peach cobbler for all of us because that's what Griffith does in his side.
Those peaches are too good for cobbler.
Okay. All right. Grumpy Griff Award. Who do you like for the Grumpy Griff Award?
I don't know. I wasn't out there. I might have to ask my daughter.
I was going to tell you should have brought your daughter in today so we could have had her analysis of it.
Yeah, she would have told you. It was so busy. When I asked her what happened, she goes, "I'm not sure." She goes, "Which race was that?"
I'm voting for Kyle Heckman.
That's Kyle Heckman's a good run. I think Nick Spainhoward had a good run.
I mean, Kyle and Brad Pounds together put on a great show. For the weekend,
they split the feature races, one each night and 1 second each night. So it's hard to differentiate between the two.
Right. Steve Drake too. He's another guy. He hasn't been in the winner's circle in a long time, and he dominated Saturday night. So
she told me it was pretty good racing. She was just it went. And this is a compliment to Scott. She says they'd finish one and they'd be starting the next one. They'd finish one, they'd be starting the next one. So that's a compliment to the track crew with keeping it going quickly.
We got amazing pictures. We got all the results to share with you guys here in the next segment. But we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up here with Scott because the driver of the week is one we're going to have to kind of argue about. So I just look at the results. I mean, I thought Heckman had a heck of a finish to the year. I think Nick Spainhoward is definitely a strong choice as well. But we'll talk about that more here in a moment. Coming December 5th is our end-of-the-year special section, and we're looking forward to that. So if you'd like to advertise in that, let me know. So drop me an email at lamestoy@bakersfield.com. The Fast Trip Motorsports all-area team is coming fast and furious, and a lot of guys have earned their spots onto that. A lot of ladies have earned their spots onto that team. We'll be announcing that team on December 3rd. That will be in the December 5th edition of the Bakersfield Californian. How do you get in? Well, if you have 3 wins at an oval track, you're in. If you have 2 wins at a drag strip, you are in as well. You have a points championship at a local track or sanctioned series or March Meet Championship or Hot Rod Reunion Championship. But we may not be, we may not be covering the Hot Rod Reunion. We have to talk to Blake about that.
We'll talk to Blake about that.
The little NHRA credentialing problem that is a little bit annoying. Also, speaking of NHRA, good behavior helps you. So we may be discounting everybody who didn't go to the Hot Rod Reunion. They don't want us to use the video camera. So at the Hot Rod Reunion. The show schedule for the next, we have 3 more shows left until we hit our season finale. We may do something special that first week of December. I'm not quite sure yet. It's a tough week because we got so much going on that week, actually, but we'll see how it goes. The 21st will be the Hot Rod Reunion preview. We'll also wrap up ANRA. We'll also wrap up what happened in Kern County Raceway Park. October 28th will be the Hot Rod Reunion wrap. Scott will be long asleep about that period, hibernating at that point. But by November 4th, he'll be getting the track ready for his turkey shootout. They'll be doing. Is that I got the name wrong, didn't I?
Turkey Thunder.
Turkey
I think
Thunder.
They call it.
I like it.
I don't know.
Season finale will be November 4th, where we wrap things up, and we're going to give Scott homework. The homework is for him is he has to think of the 6 best moments.
Oh, no, see, you've gone from 5 to 6. You're
I'm
just
gonna
out
go
of
No,
six.
control.
last year it was 5. Now
Now
I had
it's
to
six.
up
The 6
the ante.
best moments for Bakersfield Speedway for 2015. And I tell you what, this has been. I can give you my 3 storylines. First off, it's the unfortunate one about the passing of Mike Mosier. 2 is the unbelievable parody you had out there this season. And I think maybe 3, the domination of that mini stocks class by Tina Bell. But you know what? Those are just my 3 off the top of my head there. So me going into the dunk tank, that's maybe number 4.
Right, that was a lot of money
Forgot about
raised.
that one.
Yeah. And I should have probably been checked for something after that because
Well, you should have been checked for
Yeah.
something before that,
yeah,
probably.
Mock put me in that thing at least 25 times. All
He
right.
paid his monies.
Yeah. Let's go to Charlotte. We had racing. There's Joey Logano. I can't get behind Joey Logano.
No,
I can't get behind him.
neither can Kevin Harvick.
And Kevin Harvick can't stand. Do you think Harvick was like chasing him, thinking, I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to get this guy?
Well, I think it all came down to that last pit stop. Logano clearly had the better car, and Harvick got a little slowed coming back up to speed out of that last pit stop, or else he might have been in front. And then if you're in front, maybe Logano's car doesn't handle as well. That's the whole thing there. Everybody says, well, you can't pass it, Charlotte. It's hard to pass. Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Could you imagine
a mile-and-a-half racetrack? There you go.
Okay,
You can't pass.
I've been really trying hard to watch this stuff now for the last year and a half, and going from like not really watching it to really paying attention to it. Could you imagine like just taking a drive with Kevin Harvick? Just like in your Suburban. Your right front is loose, Griff. We need to do a wedge. Let me just pull over here. Let me adjust that real quick. I mean, could you imagine the complaining about your car with driving with Kevin Harvick?
Yeah.
That would be great. You know what we should do? We should do a video with you and Harvick. We should put Harvick in your old Toyota truck that you have and just let him complain the whole time. That'd be pretty good.
He complained pretty good because it's got blown head gasket right now. It's not running.
Even better. That would be even
That'd
better.
even be better.
But I bet Roddy Childers could probably fix it up for you.
You probably could.
Okay. So you got actually a chance to watch this race. What were your thoughts on this, Scott?
I'm just amazed at Kevin Harvick when his back was against the wall, entering this points deal and the way he's standing up and really the team's pulling together and he's doing what he needs to be done. So I'm not a huge NASCAR watcher or fan, but when it comes down to this point system where it's all or nothing, that's what hooks me to it. This is when I start watching it. So great run for Kevin Harvick and what the team's doing.
And what you're seeing in these races and some of the stories that I've read, these guys are racing. I mean, they have to race hard. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a victim of that tire rub with Carl Edwards. And he ends up a couple laps down eventually, whatever, horrible day, just like Harvick's first time, because it's the middle of the race. It's a quarter of the way through the race, and they are fighting for positions, and it's causing contact. It's causing flat tires, which leads to other things. It means so much to finish in the top 5 on these races that there's a lot more racing than if there wasn't the chase system. Let's be honest. I mean, under the old system, Harvick would be so far out in points, he'd be just trying to finish 15th or better every race.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it really does create. I mean, that race in Chicago last week was 2 weeks ago was really exciting because Harvick was up against it and he dominated the race. I don't know if you read the comments though about the burnout that he did at the very end.
And they wrecked the car on purpose.
They wrecked the car on purpose because.
And all of a sudden, now you don't hear anything else. We're on to the next.
Yeah.
Whatever the next week, but this Kansas race, it's another
Heck,
big
Logano
race.
set his car on fire at one of those road races that they had earlier this year. I mean, he set it on fire. It was ridiculous.
Everybody wants to win now at Kansas because nobody wants to go in, even if say Harvick has another top 3 finish.
Right.
There's no guarantees because you've got Talladega staring at you.
By the way, that's the look that Harvick would give you if you had to ride in your car, probably.
And that was Joey Logano's crew chief's comment as soon as he won was, now we don't have to worry about Talladega.
Right.
Because with this point system and this playoff system going to Talladega, because everybody knows what can happen.
Yeah, I think
that was a huge relief for him.
This 3-race segment worries the drivers and
Yeah.
crew chiefs more than any other 3-race segment because of that monster Talladega, where you, through absolutely no fault of your own, you're on a flatbed truck being hauled off the racetrack.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at that schedule. Speaking of that, so we've got Kansas, or actually Harvick finished the second, about a second behind Logano. Logano really dominated that race. So we've seen 2 dominant performances over the last 2 weeks. But I can't, Mears is in this thing consistently in the top 20.
I think this is their 3rd straight top 20, and they're pretty happy about that on that team. That's his best finish at Charlotte since he won the mileage race there.
Right.
His only win when he was with Hendrick.
And he'll probably be a contender, I would think, at Talladega because it's a restrictor place race. I mean, he's done pretty well.
He's done well in the restrictor place races, and that's where somebody can come out of the woodwork and win. So he could be a contender there. That's a crapshoot.
All right, and then Ryan Reed, they were off this last week. If you go to the next slide there, John. Ryan Reed, he was 14th at Dover 2 weeks ago. He's still 10th in the Xfinity standings. He's had a lot of. We should talk to him, kind of get a postmortem on their season because he's had the highs and the lows this year of things, and he's consistently in the top 15 when they have Cup drivers in there, and then he's had some struggles with some crashes that weren't necessarily his fault. He's had some mechanical issues, but he's had the big win at Daytona earlier this season. So that's Ryan Reed for you. Anything else going on, Griffith, that you want to mention?
$10,000 to win race at Madera. Shepard did not win that. He finished
6th, right?
6th. I think he had a flat tire early, got that fixed. I think he had another flat tire, then lost his brakes late in the race, but he finished 6th and ended up winning the championship despite missing a race because every race he was there, I think the 6th was his worst finish. He had 2 wins, 2 seconds. So he won the championship, so that's probably worth a little cash and bragging rights. Nice. So that's a good deal.
All right. Listen.
And then you got K&N West up in Roseville, so Mayhew and Johnny White will be racing in that this weekend.
We'll get more updates from Griff, as always. We'll take a quick break here on the Power Hour. We'll be back with more on Bakersfield Speedway and the Bud National.